All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to do the longest recap in history, and then we're going to get straight into the game. So, a lot happened last session. Okay, so let's all just take a deep breath and do a quick recap of our season 1, arc 1 finale. So, in our last episode, you all confirmed that the camp had a pretty dark secret, which is some campers at some point have tragically died at the camp. And despite like all of the staff, like Dr. Helmuth, and maybe other staff that you have come to know at the camp, kind of scrambling to kind of do damage control, you all tended to have some level of glimmer of hope, Juni the most of all of you, that at least the 3 newest missing campers that you all woke up to see was gone, Melissa, Cleo, and Cinder, hoping that they weren't truly dead. So, in order of chaos, this is what happened. You guys stole the 3 corpses from some shack where it was being held. You escaped through a secret tunnel, which led to some sort of like massive tunnel system where there were like weird termite-like creatures that seemed to live there, as well as like these old ruins. You guys stored the bodies in cocoons deep in those ruins, where all the termite creatures were, and this is all right under Breakleg Point. You then found a huge underground lake, where first Ebb kind of felt like there was something strange lurking in the darkness. And Hayden and Gia turned on the lights, and you guys all revealed this beautiful but old and huge and broken ship that was sticking up from the middle of the lake, as well as a strange island that had a stone dais, and then a giant floating sculpture of a moon above. So, in that area, you all also realized that there was something lurking in the deep underneath the lake. Gia, of course, tried to communicate with this creature, which you guys kind of found out was at least some level of intelligent. Unfortunately, they kind of hitched a ride in Gia's head, and almost tried to drown her a little bit. So that all happened. Then at some point, the creature actually rises from the depths of the lake, all while there's shenanigans going on. Gia's trying to get across the lake. Ebb is on the other side on a little island. Juni is trying to figure out all of these rooms on the DS, and Hayden is kind of watching helplessly as Gia gets devoured by a massive fish creature. After all of that had happened, we kind of came back to see everybody basically scrambling to save Gia in different ways. So Ebb just kind of goes after the creature underwater. Juni also goes after the creature underwater. Gia is trying to keep in connection with Juni via telekinesis or telepathy. And then Hayden also wakes up in a strange place, where he was knocked over the side of the island. So all of that is happening kind of simultaneously while you guys are all separated. And then eventually you all come back together. Hayden has a little side adventure where he meets a really interesting person, using quotations here, named Charlie, under the sea, or maybe on the other side of the sea. You guys aren't really sure how that all works. And then you all eventually meet up, find your way back up to the surface, still looking for Gia, who was eaten by a giant creature. And then we left off essentially with you all landing on the bed or the shores of this island, thinking that you need to figure out a way to find this creature and figure out where you are, when Gia comes out of the bushes, comes out of the forest. She's clean. She's wearing a tunic, and she offers you guys respite. She tells you that she's found a little place that she escaped. How lucky! You all follow her, and you find yourselves at a abandoned. I'm gonna say it's a ruin, but when you walk inside, it looks more like an abandoned, maybe military or scientific lab. And so the episode ended with you all realizing that you've been betrayed. Gia has led you to this compound where Dr. Helmuth, who's actually wearing a lab coat, is surrounded by armed guards, and you all are now her prisoners. And that is where we kind of pick up from. I believe the last thing you were asked, Gia, was to get them ready, to get their beds ready, to get them some warm clothes, to make the guests feel comfortable, as she kind of turned around and left all of you standing there shocked. So let's start with Gia. What's going on as your three friends look at you in shock as you all look around you and you see basically it doesn't look like there's any escape. There was the one door you guys came in, and there are armed guards lining the walls of this like circular inner space.
Yeah. I mean, follow me. You all really probably should shower, I'm sure. Or do you want to eat first? Why don't you shower? There's a change of clothes. I'll get everything ready for you, and then we can eat and catch each other up. Okay, great. I'm not hearing a no, so let's go.
Are the soldiers in the way of any doors?
What you will see as you're looking around is in front of you, there's like a couple of two tables that seem to have some things on it that you wouldn't really recognize. There's a balcony or like a second floor that has a balcony that Dr. Helmuth was standing at looking down at you all. And then there are no other doors other than the one, which is the one you came from. There are guards in front of that one now. And then there is an opening. So there's not a door, but it's like an arch that goes into another section of this hall. And that's open.
So we can go in, but not out.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And me and Juni are still exhausted, right?
You're all very exhausted, yes.
Well, I could use the water, so guess, Juni, do we just do it for now?
You see that Juni's like staring at the exit door. She looks so pissed off. She looks so pissed. And she's just like, I don't know, that shower might have weird brainwashing magical stuff going on in it.
Or, warm water. I didn't want to mention it earlier, but you could kind of use a shower.
Are you brainwashed? And I want to grab Gia's head and look inside of it.
Yeah, the Gia I know would never wear a tunic.
As you grab Gia,
this is very
see
comfy.
One of the guards on the side just walk one step forward.
I want to
Hayden's gonna
look in
try
her
and just-
ear, see if there's any worms in there.
I channel my inner Ebb and I growl at the guard.
He takes 2 steps forward.
I'm so feral. I growl more.
No, okay, stop. No, we can't. No, Juni, it's fine. Here. Look, see, look at my eyes. Look, no, I'm fine.
Does she look fine? Is
Are
there
you
anything in her
trying to-
eyeballs?
Are you trying to determine in some way?
I'm looking for parasites that might be mind controlling her.
Okay. Are you using an ability to do this, or are you just looking?
I guess. Well, there's not really a nature thing. I guess that would be brains. Maybe.
Yeah. You can. In fact, I would say you can all use a brains roll to see if you
Yeah.
can suss out something particular, either about Gia or this place or these guards.
I think the first thing
help
I'm
if
looking
I had dice.
for.
Don't forget the dice.
I think the first thing I'm looking for is. I guess I should look at Gia just to see if she is charmed, having been under that kind of magic before.
Okay. Anyone looking at Gia, it's going to be a DC 25.
Oh, bummer.
I changed my mind.
Yep.
Coward.
Nope.
Growling at this guard, is he gonna tackle me?
You never know.
I'm still gonna roll, but
Alright, brains. It's a D8. Sure. It's possible.
It is.
You can always
Okay, well,
explode.
that's a 5.
4.
Okay.
So is Hayden's gonna kind of look over at Gia's like, how'd you find this place?
Ooh, I exploded.
I, was just kind of wandering around and came across it.
Yeah, but how'd you get out of the giant
I saw
pit?
you get swallowed.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, turns out I can annoy any living thing as much as I annoy Juniper. So it just spat me out.
See,
You know
now
what,
when you
kind of
annoy
fair.
me, I keep you around. So it's different.
Oh, okay.
Except for right now, I'm very skeptical about whether or not you're a clone and your real body is in some kind of septic tank. And I don't know, you're breathing some weird green goo or something or other.
Is this like another public school reference that I don't get?
No, it's a reference to many sci-fi movies that
Okay.
exist.
Okay.
And tell your friend over there to stop staring at me, or I'm gonna do something about it.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we see do we recognize any of these guards? Like, are these adults that have been around camp or not at all?
Junie, you got a 5, and then Ebb, what did you get?
I got a 6. I exploded.
Okay.
That's an explosion of brain.
The smartest Ebb has ever been.
Ever.
based on what is in front of you, this seems to be Gia. It doesn't seem to be anything or anyone but her, and there's nothing controlling her in her head. You do know, though, that as you're kind of looking at her and you're kind of all looking at the area and Hayden, based on what you've asked, there's definitely something odd about the guards. Number one, they are wearing like all black, but it's all black and it's an outfit that is head to toe. So you don't see hair because they have like a mask on. You don't see eyes. You don't see ears. You don't see any skin. it's all covered with some sort of fabric. They're also all the same height and about the same build. Fairly athletic.
I'm so tired and delirious. I'm gonna do something stupid.
Yes. Join the
I
club.
would like to charm the guards to have them take their masks off. I want them to show their faces to me.
I'll say that you need to choose one in particular.
The one coming at me. I'm posted up. I got 2 fists up in the air. I got my legs stanced apart. I'm so ready to fight.
Okay. We'll say that it's the one that was taking a couple steps forward, not really paying attention to you. They were looking mainly at Ebb, as Ebb was the one touching Gia. But he's right in front of you, so you can roll a charm and see if you can convince him to do whatever you want him to do. If you're trying to convince him with just like talking via charm, it's gonna be a DC 20.
There's magic about it.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's a 10. I'm really tired. And she just points at this guy and she's just like, "Who are you? Take your mask off. Show me. Who are you?"
No, okay, all right. I'm gonna like put my arms around Juni and Ebb's shoulders. Like, look, I get it. We've been through a lot today. But even if this is dodgy, don't you want to get cleaned up? Don't you want to get cleaned up and have a rest so that
not in magical hypno water.
You can fight the power when you're not dead on your feet.
You can't fight the power if you bathe in magical hypno water and then all of a sudden you're serving the evil camp lady. Take off your freaking mask. I'm gonna
No, okay, no.
No, I want to see him. I want to see him. I want to see him.
That's
Showing
so rude. You can't just take people's clothes off, Juniper. Stop it.
Lynn, go ahead and roll. Well, because unless you're doing you're trying to use magic, if you're just using your arms and legs, it's going to be a brawn, and it's going to be against their fight because they do have a weapon.
Can I be holding her back so she doesn't get, hit in the head with like a gun or something?
You can. I mean, anyone can try to intercede. It'll be a roll as well. So if you're trying to hold on to her, it's going to be grit to see if you can hold on.
Oh, good.
She tried to use magic
I
before,
absolutely.
and now she doesn't like, and now the magic didn't work, so now she's using her hands. Yeah.
I absolutely want to try to roll a grit against any of Juni's stats.
Yeah, my brawn is not good. So, oh wait, is it fight or brawn? Which one is it?
You're using brawn because
My brawn is not good. So here we go.
Well, let's see what you got to beat. You have to beat an 11.
I need to explode.
I'm holding her back with
There's
a 1.
Only one way for me to get this.
Let's see what she gets here, and then you can roll a grit. And I will. Well, it'll be against her brawn. So let's see what she gets first, and then we'll have her roll.
Guys are telling a story. I'm so tired.
What'd you get?
I got a 1.
You got a 10?
1.
Oh, yeah. No need to roll that grit.
Oh no.
You see, Juni, she is swinging her arms. She thinks she's doing so much, but her arms are basically just like slapping a wet noodle around.
Oh.
You see this person standing there. They have a weapon in their hand, and they're just kind of standing, not really moving. And Lynn is, Junie is literally like what is it? Windmilling with the arms, and she's hitting him on the face and the neck, and he's just kind of standing there.
It
And
just
in
sounds
one
like it just sounds like when a Muppet when like when like Muppet hands are trying.
yeah, that's pretty much what happens. And in one fell swoop, quicker than any of you can really act, he quickly moves to swat her hands away from him, and with the butt of his gun smacks you on the head, and you go unconscious.
She's unconscious now?
It's not
Oh,
funny,
falls to
but
the ground.
it's so funny.
Okay, that no.
Not
hold-
okay.
I'm grabbing Ebb by the back of the shirt. We'll
She's
just get
trying
her.
to stomp up to the guy, but she's real
Mm.
little, so they'll like pull out the back of her dress, is like holding her back, like in Annie. She's just like,
Okay, that was not fucking cool. But we'll just, we'll get her. Hayden help me get her to bed, and she can rest. And you're a jackass. I say, pointing at the guard.
Yeah, so this Hayden will kind of move over to where Juni is now, I'm assuming, currently crumpled on the ground, and just kind of pick her up in his arms.
The guard stands motionless, just as all the other ones, and they simply watch as you are kind of, both of you, Ebb and Juni, kind of swept away with Gia and Hayden down the hallway. The hallway is fairly thin. You can all fit in there, obviously, but by the time you get to the other side, there's just another smaller room where there's like a little kitchenette on the side. There's like another room to the left that has looks like a dining room of some sort. And then a couple of other, you can see down the hallways, there are other things in this compound. But if you go straight, you see another hallway that's a little bit thinner, that has, there's no nice way to say this, cell doors, basically. But they're like the metal ones that only have like a small window. Mm-hmm. And there are 3 open. And inside, it looks like a little dorm. So there's like a nice little full bed, and there's like a little desk in there. There's like a window in there. Inside, it looks like a little dorm, but the door is a metal cell door. And Gia leads you each to each of the different rooms.
Okay, like the aesthetic, I will admit, leaves something to be desired, but if you're retrofitting, an old lab, there's only they're good doors. Look how it's nice inside.
Good doors, yeah. My mom says that about her jail cell too.
There could be a sea witch, and this is not a safe area. I'm sure you've noticed.
Oh, so you're just keeping us safe, huh, Gia? Just keeping us safe by putting us in a locked cage. That makes total sense. Here, I'll just go in and close the door and be fine inside. Bye, Gia. And she slams the door to her cell.
It's not locked, you drama queen.
Oh no, it just looks like it's locked.
Okay, well, do you want me to bring you some water to replace your boot water or your jar water? Are you good?
Does the room have a sink if it's a little dorm room?
As Gia takes you each to each door, she shows Hayden the first door, which he puts Juni in. She shows Hayden his door, which is the one across from that. And then she comes to the last door, which is on the left. And I think now you guys can tell that these aren't just regular rooms. They have been made up specifically for you. So instead of a bed in that last one, there is a large pool.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
I told them we were coming. I wanted to
or
make
they were
sure
watching us the whole time, Gia.
That's
Through
not
your eyeballs.
renovation.
Got a snake in your brain.
What?
Got a snake in your brain, pretty sure.
I
Can't
don't
see it, though.
have a snake in my brain. I feel like I would know if I had a snake in my brain.
No, you wouldn't. The snake takes over. That's kind of the whole point.
Okay. I don't know how to prove that you're wrong without open brain surgery, and I feel like this isn't the time.
The intercom comes on over the loudspeaker. It's kind of one of those like ding, ding, ding ones that you get like at a school. And someone's voice comes over the intercom. It is not Dr. Helmuth's, but it is someone else's voice. And she simply says, hello, everyone. It is almost 2. So let's go ahead and round up. Almost 2.
Round up. They're gonna shoot us? There's a firing squad?
No.
Jesus.
No. What? Why do you hear round up and immediately think firing squad?
That's what they say. We're gonna round up and then we're gonna shoot them all in a line. That's the thing. That's what they do. Why would we not think that, jail? We're going into cells and we're in jail and there's like an evil lady who's in charge of everything. What?
These are cells in that they were originally intended as cells, but they're retrofitted now. It's just a room where you can sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can come with me to the meeting. Not the firing squad, just a check-in.
Sure.
Or you can stay here, rest. I've rested. You can rest, or you can come. What do you want to do?
Can we wake up Gia? I mean,
I'm
Juni?
awake.
Your names is so close.
I don't know. I mean, we can, but I also think she would really benefit from a nap. She seems exhausted. You honestly all seem exhausted. Actually, Hayden, I am not sure how. Can you sleep?
I don't know. I should feel exhausted given everything. I don't. Which I kind of don't feel now.
Okay. Oh.
And that's honestly not the most disconcerting thing now.
Okay.
Should be, but it's not.
We've got a list. I can admit that. All right.
Ebb knowing apparently what a rounding up of a firing squad is creeping a little closer to the top now.
Yeah, I would like to explore that further. Look. Juni took a pretty hard hit. Can you at least stay with her and make sure she's okay? Get some rest if you can.
I can stay with her, see if I can tend to it at all.
And Ebb, look,
If
I
you
know
think
you
I'm
don't.
gonna stay here while you go and talk to the creepy creeps, you're crazy.
What I would rather have you do is stay
It's come
here.
talk with you to the creepy creeps. I get it. I'll come with you. It's fine.
I kind of like, I look around and lower my voice a little bit. I'm like, I would rather you stay here and watch out for Hayden and Juni. And then I'm making motions with my hands of like, look into my eyes, look into the cells, and like a lock picking motion. Like, try and find a way out of here if you need to.
Oh.
The intercom goes off again. There isn't a voice this time, but it just goes ding, ding.
Does that sound good? You can watch their backs.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. I will be back. Just try and get some rest. All of you. And I'm gonna go.
As you are walking out, about 2 seconds later, as you all are there but on your own, you all hear another intercom where it just goes ding. And Hayden, Ebb, and Juni, you guys are alone. Juni is unconscious in a bed. Hayden and Ebb, you guys are just kind of standing at your doors, looking at each other. You can hear voices. So like this is an open area. You're in a hallway with these doors, but then there's no door that goes out to the main hall where you guys came from. And that is kind of like an intersection. So you can actually, sometimes you'll see a person walk by. These people are not the guards. They seem to be workers. So some of them have lab coats on. Some of them are wearing like heels. They're just like going about to and fro. But down this hallway, you guys are secluded.
And even for the workers we see outside of Dr. Helmuth, are we seeing any of the previous teachers for what those that were able to see their faces or anything?
If you guys stand there for a moment and like watch the people go by, you can try to like just watch, like people watch. You can do that, but you'll have to do that for a bit. You can kind of tell that there's a good amount of people here. And so you'll have to make an effort to stand either at the corner or go into the intersection to like watch people to like see if you recognize them. But so far, it's not like you guys have obviously seen like Mr. Van Glow or anything. There's no one who's been like obviously.
Yeah. And he
oh my gosh, that's our teacher. Yet.
And none of the like other camp staff, like the cooks or like the janitors or anything like that.
Well, now that depends on if you guys have really been paying attention to who those people are. Because I don't think you ever spoke to many of the regular staff milling around.
I think I distracted a couple of them, but that was about it. And me and Cinder went through the kitchen a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's all.
I think as you guys have walked through so far, no one is standing out to you just based on what you're seeing. You'll have to kind of make an effort to kind of focus and see if you actually recognize people.
Well, I'm no good at focus. So can I search our rooms for any vents of any kind?
Okay. Is there something in particular you're searching for?
any vent that is small, big enough for me to get into.
Oh, okay. You're gonna start with your room?
Yeah, I'll start with my room and then do Juni's room and then do Hayden's room.
Okay.
Keeping my door open.
Okay. I'll say that these rooms are fairly barren, so it'll take you just a couple of minutes of like, looking in the closet, looking under the bed, just like checking. But you can do that without rolling. So we'll say that you're in your room doing that. While you're doing that for a moment, Hayden, what are you doing?
I think for him, he's kind of keeping near the room where he placed Juni, kind of, again, across the way, just kind of taking a chance to just kind of take a seat outside of his door to where he can kind of view that hallway opposite, and kind of just in between occasional glances up. He's actually taking a look at the bracelet that he noticed had kind of appeared after getting back on land, trying to see if there's anything he can figure out about it.
Wonderful. Are you just looking and just tinkering with stuff, or are you trying to make a roll about anything?
Specifically seeing if there's kind of like any runes he can kind of immediately recognize. There seems to be any kind of pattern that might give away something of its use or its function, if there is one, or if it's just a kind of parting gift of what he briefly could have considered a friend.
Okay. I'll say make a brains roll. I think this will be pretty easy to decipher. So DC is only going to be a 5.
All right. So that is a 16.
Okay. And don't forget, if you guys have a stat that's way over, you can always just take half. So yes, this is both a parting gift, but also a powerful, basically like a powerful amulet. It has a lot of power within it, and it is directly connected to you. So it was given to you for you to use alone. Mm-hmm. I'll say that you kind of got a good idea of Charlie, but I don't believe you truly figured out who Charlie was. So I think you, yeah.
Juni busted in before you really had a chance to try.
Yes, yeah, you were so close. One more day. But oh well. So as far as Hayden is concerned, you do understand that Charlie was different. He was a different type of person, but you don't really know what that means. It could mean like some sort of a warlock, or just a powerful magic user, and he's given you a powerful magic item. Yeah. And that's kind of what you're thinking now. Mm-hmm. However, he didn't give you any instructions and he didn't give you any idea about that. So you would assume that based off of kind of what you guys have been learning so far about the moons and this goddess and stuff like that, you're kind of thinking you might need to take it, understand it more in a spiritual way. Yeah. Of how you would activate it and how you would use it.
Okay.
So that's what you learned there. Ebb, you look all around in your room, and there is a floor drain because your room has a pool, but it's too small for you to get down to it. But it's also in the middle of your room, and it is pretty secure. But other than that, you do have a window, but the window looks like it is it's one of those windows that you would put on a high rise, so it doesn't open. Mm-hmm. And that's all in terms of ways of egress from your room.
Does the drain have screws in it?
Yeah. Yeah, military grade, like large screws, like this, and the floor is concrete. This place is pretty fortified. What do you want to do? Ebb? Did you leave?
And did you live?
She's disappeared.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, she knows she got dropped.
She went
I was
on the
like,
train.
something's happened. We'll come back to her. Juni, you are fully unconscious, and you got hit on the head, and you haven't been healed, but you can. There she is. But you can make a grit roll, and every time you make a grit roll, it'll be the DC will go down as you naturally heal. But for your very first grit roll, it's going to be a DC 15.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Well, that's a Wait, let me see if I have any bonuses. Oh, I do. That's a 2.
Okay. Back to Ebb. Good job. Ebb, I was asking you what you wanted to do next, because I told you that the place is fortified, the ground is concrete, and the little drain is fortified with like industrial screws.
But there are screws in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I want to take some of my spikes that I have in my bag from when I spiked down the tarp, and I want to flatten the one end so that it's more like a screwdriver and try to unscrew the drain.
Wow. Okay. I will say you can do that. It will take you some time. Do you want to do that right now?
Yes, because I want to release my fish and put this back before anybody comes and gets us.
Okay. All right. Ebb, you are making your way around those screws. I will say each round that I go around to everybody will be basically a round. And so by the time I get back on the third round, you would have done the third screw. And you can stop at any time, but that's how much time it'll take. So
okay.
so
this is the first round.
Yeah. So Ebb is doing that. Let's go over to Gia. You've kind of made your way from that main area to across the little intersection that you guys were at. You went up a fairly steep like ramp. It's still all inside. At one point you come across like a couple of other people. They say hi to you because you've known everybody really well now. And eventually you guys are like walking together down another hallway. This compound is huge, but you know where you're going. But you all eventually come to a door, like another door, an internal door that does have a locking system. So you watch as one of the ladies that was walking next to you, her name's Grace. She is she's wonderful. You guys hang out and eat lunch together all the time. She's really funny. And she is a huge gossiper. So she has a lanyard on and she kind of grabs her ID and she kind of swipes it as you go in. And then you won't believe what happened to Gail. So listen. And you're not to tell anybody this, but oh my gosh. And you guys walk through the doors and the doors open and close behind you. And you find yourself, you and Grace, you find yourselves in a large, basically like a like a congressional hall where there's a lot of stairs, almost like a university seminar room. There's a lot of stairs that you have to go down to get to one of the seats. And then there is a large stage all the way down at the bottom where you can see Dr. Helmuth is standing. And she has like a table and some other things. And there are a couple of other people on the stage. And it's still, the lights are still up and everyone's still talking as people filter in because the meeting hasn't started yet. But yeah, so you guys kind of shimmy in. And she goes and she looks at you. And so I told her, you cannot wear that right to like work. That is way too short. A mini skirt. Can you believe she doesn't even have the thighs for that? And you guys go ahead.
She does know that like office siren is only for the actual sirens, right?
You are telling the truth. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I had to send her home, obviously. I mean, she couldn't even bend over to like pick up stuff. I was like, you can't even do your job, woman. And that is the conversation you kind of have as the lights begin to dim and everyone begins to get quiet. And you watch Dr. Helmuth speak out to everybody. Oh, I see everyone has made it. Excellent. Excellent. Can we get the doors closed, please? Wonderful. And she kind of has someone bring over a really large water tank. It's like filled with water, but the water is really scudsy and has like a lot of algae in it. And there seems to be something floating in it, but you can't really see. And they are pushing this huge container out to the table next to her. And she is putting on gloves. Now, we don't have much time for our little demonstration today. We have a lot of work to do. And if we didn't already hear our amazing new arrival, Gianna, and she kind of points over to you and everyone looks over to you. She has brought us 3 amazing candidates for this month's project. So give it up for Gianna, everyone. And everyone begins to clap for you. And she goes, okay. So yes, we don't have much time. We have a lot to do. And we do need to eventually get back to the camp. So let's get started. So if we remember last month, our G1 solution actually did a very unique mutation. And she kind of turns over to the person who's brought out this huge tank. And they kind of get on a ladder and dunk basically their entire hands and forearms and to grab what's in it. And they bring it out. And it is this huge, deformed, you're not even sure what it was originally, but it has like a bunch of like eyes and little like tiny hands kind of sticking out from it. And it's bulbous and flesh colored. And it also has a little bit of hair sticking out in different places. It looks like a huge ball of regurgitated flesh, except for clearly it was created. And the person steps down from the ladder and slaps it onto what you now can tell is an operating table. And she just goes, thank you, Gerald. So our mutation experiment from last month, unfortunately, did lead to the death of the specimen. However, there's always things to learn from this, everyone. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick autopsy, and she kind of puts her hand out, and the person next to her gives her the literally hugest saw you've ever seen.
Oh, real quick autopsy.
Yes. And now it's not going to be pretty because, again, we don't have a lot of time. However, I do think that we want to really examine the intestinal structure here because it was really fascinating. And she begins to saw into this creature. And more things happen. There's clinking of metal as they give her more tools. They kind of spread this creature from inside out so that people can really see what she's pointing at. And it's a whole full demonstration of this strange mutation of whatever this creature was at some point. And you and Grace sit there. Grace is kind of paying attention, but then also she kind of sighs once in a while. These are normal meetings. This is what the meetings kind of always look like, either a presentation of what you've done recently, or if an experiment failed, you guys will do like a quick autopsy. This is pretty run of the mill. Some of them are interesting. Some of them are kind of boring.
Can I, is there like a roll I could do to see if I can guess what it was before it became the ugliest, like, owl pellet in the history of the world?
Yes. What would you like to roll?
I mean, I would like to roll fight, but it feels more like a brains roll.
I think brains is appropriate here. I mean, you have really good knowledge of animals. I don't think the DC would be that high. You're a little far away, like you guys aren't sitting very close, but we'll see what you can pick up on a DC. I'll say a DC 10. It is pretty heavily mutated.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But not today. That's a 7.
Okay. You can't tell what it was, but you can clearly tell that even though the liquid it was in is kind of gross, you can clearly, the smell of it because you were just in a place very similar, but you can smell the lake water. So it is some creature that either used to live in a lake or they put it in lake water during its mutation phase. So it is something that lives in lake water.
Is it Fred?
I'm afraid you can't tell that from how far away you are.
Oh no. Hey Grace, do you know what that was?
Gianna looks at you and looks back over at it. Oh, I don't know. Probably something from the lake. Not our lake, but the regular lake,
Right. Yeah, the one not like 30 minutes away.
What?
Never mind.
She kind of rolls her eyes at you and looks back at the table. And that's where I think we'll leave you for a second as we go to Juni. Juni, go ahead and roll a grit roll. What did I say? Your last one was 15. It's now 13.
That's gonna be a 5.
Very nice. Let's go to Hayden. Hayden, how are you doing as you are sitting there?
I think as he's sorry. I think as he's kind of realized that this is going to take some like way deeper investigation on his end, he kind of just leaves it be for the moment to kind of get a chance, kind of like when he was back at Charlie's, to kind of just sit with everything now, with all of the extra that has been added since they managed to get to land. And at the same point, it's kind of, as he's sitting there, it takes a half second for it to hit him, as despite knowing his current state and knowing what he knows, having grown up in like a magical family and everything, instinctively starts to look around for Argos somewhere around.
Go ahead and make a grit roll. DC, let's make it a 10.
gonna spend an adversity token just to make that 10.
Okay. You look around and you don't see him anywhere. But you don't feel like he's like untethered to you as a familiar is. He's just not here.
Okay. So with that kind of still feeling him, just gonna sit there for a second, just kind of focus on that, and it's just the question sent out considering he knows that connection is there now. Where are you?
You ask that question, and the glass and barnacle chain bracelet around it doesn't move, but you hear it jingle.
Kind of just looks down at it.
It sparkles, even though there isn't any light. It kind of shimmers as if light is being directed onto it. And again, it's not really moving, but it feels like it's calling to you.
He kind of stares at it. He's feeling a very deep pit of dread in his stomach as he's kind of one of the first feelings he's having now.
What is the question you might have that pops in your head as you are trying to figure this all out?
First thing that pops into his head, given that immediate correlation of if he is the bracelet now.
Who's he?
If Argos is that parting gift.
You ask that question, and you kind of get a semi-answer, which is, it's not a thought, it's just a feeling. Almost as if you can see, like, well, you can't really see him. It's a feeling that you might see. It's really confusing to explain. It's like a deja vu or a weird premonition almost. Mm-hmm. So like, even though you don't actually see this in the front of like your eye, like behind your eyelids, you seem to see a vision of Argos, but he's in the space you're in right now. He's like just running down one of the hallways. You can try to tap into that more.
He's definitely going to try, because now he's curious.
I'm going to say roll a charm and add your magic die and add +3 to your roll.
Okay.
DC is going to be let's say a 6.
Yeah, thankfully doable with the extra bonuses. That is an 8.
As you kind of like delve deeper into this, you smell cupcakes frosting, pies, cookies, pumpkin pie cheesecake, a whole variety of delicious sweets. And at the end of that smell, you smell a hot cup of tea. And in the moment where you're just staring and thinking and feeling, you disappear from the hallway. Back to Ebb. You're one screw down. How's that other screw
One screw
coming?
down. Screw number 2 on the way. Did I notice Hayden disappeared?
Ebb
Probably
yells
not.
into the hallway where she thinks Aiden is.
Oh yeah. Did I notice him disappear?
No.
Great.
But you're working on that second screw.
It's okay. We're gonna find a way out. It'll be fine. Everything's going okay.
Love it.
Definitely nothing to be worried about.
Going back to Gia. Gia, the demonstration is over. Everyone except for Juni, of course, who's unconscious, can hear the ding, 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 which kind of signifies that the whatever was going on is over or about to start. And the 3 dings give you an idea of like how many minutes essentially you have to get to your next thing. So it's over and you guys have a couple of minutes before you have to go to wherever you need to go. The place is easier to get into quickly than it was to get out because there's a lot of people in here. So you and Grace are kind of inching your way down like up one of the stairs to get to one of the hallways so that you can get out. And she's just like, oh my gosh, I hate doing this when there's so many people here. Like, I feel like we should do smaller ones, but then I would see Gerald like face to face, and nobody wants that. So,
yeah, I mean, you'd think they'd give us more time to kind of file out of here at least. There's a lot of people. Are there always this many people here? This feels like more than usual.
I swear they just keep recruiting and they just keep coming in. And she kind of turns to you. Oh my gosh, sweetheart, I totally forgot to give you a proper congratulations. Congratulations, that is so amazing. You've only been here, what, like a couple of weeks? You brought 3 new recruits or candidates or whatever they're calling them these days.
Yeah.
Well, that's so exciting. We should do something. You want to like go and get like a cake or something?
Oh, I never say no to cake.
I will make you such a delicious cake. I was gonna make devil's food cake the other day, but Gerald was running the canteen and I'm trying to stay away from him. So but I could make how about carrot cake?
I love carrot cake.
Fantastic. I'm making you some carrot cake. And she continues to kind of talk to you about that. So, I mean, do you know what's going on with that whole thing? Like, why they even have you bring them here?
I think they were in a bad situation and needed to get to safety. So what better place than this? And you never know who's going to end up, being the one we're looking for, right?
She's kind of slowly nodding her head as you're talking, and she goes, you know what? Bless your heart. You are just you're so open, and yes, you know what? Yes, this could be safe, for some people. But I love that you have that idea, it's so pure. It's so great. I am going.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't I?
Well, you know what? I really don't want to ruin, what you've got going on here. I've been here a lot longer, and there are some things that are, well, a little disturbing.
Oh, come on, Grace. Don't hold out on me now. I can always rely on you for a good story.
As you guys are walking out of this area finally, and you've kind of gotten away from the crowd, you start to walk in the main walking area, and she's kind of like looking around, trying to like see if anyone's paying attention to your conversations. And there definitely are, particularly a guard who's just kind of there's just one, they're just kind of posted randomly in the main areas for like your safety as staff. But there is one who is kind of just always watching. He's kind of like on the side of the door, on the side of the wall, posted up as they always are. And she just kind of looks around, sees him, looks back to you. Yes. Listen, we need to talk all about this, but later. I have, and you all hear the ding, like, oh God, dang it! Did I miss the second dang ding? I gotta go. My goodness. Listen, let's meet up. We'll have some cake. If your friends are still, awake, you can kind of tell she was about to say alive. Then I'll bring them some cake, and I'd love to meet them. They sound precious, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I think they would really appreciate some cake.
All right, hon. Well, I will talk to you later. And you guys kind of go to a T in one of the hallways, and she takes a left, and you take a right, going back to the living quarters, or you can go wherever you want.
I think I'll head back to the quarters for now.
Okay. Juni, how are you doing? Let's get that grit roll. I think it was 13. Okay, you're at 10 now. DC is only a 10.
Well, this is gonna be a 1. I can feel it. I just know it. That's a 4.
Perfect. Hayden.
Just think of all the adversity tokens you're getting.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. How many rolls have I failed so far? Like 4?
Every one, I think.
Including the guards.
Yeah. Overestimate. Hayden, you find yourself basically, it's almost an exact replica, but you can tell that it's not. But you find yourself back in that chair, that nice wooden chair that was at that desk, or at that round table that was in front of the stove where Charlie would make you treats. And in front of the stove, as you remember, is Charlie. He's wearing a little apron. He has a big bowl in his hand, and he's stirring a batter up.
Just kind of blinks. So, Charlie?
That's my name. He kind of looks at you. I see you're back already. Miss me?
Just kind of puts his head in his hands. And, I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. Your company was great.
Thank you.
This entire day is turning into a migraine. How am I back? Where was I?
Yes. Very confusing. When you look back up, he is sitting down now, and you can see that the light is on in the oven, and he no longer has the bowl. Yes, very confusing. Yes, you were here. And then your friends came and were very rude to me, and I kicked them out.
In Juniper's defense, it's been
Juniper. Is that her name? Good to know.
Yeah, she's. To be fair, she's normally not like that. It's normally she's much more reasonable and friendly.
Oh. Must have caught her on a bad day.
Okay. I remember that. Managed to swim back up to shore.
And there you are. You are somewhere. I can't see where you are, but I know you're somewhere. Somewhere where you're having some sort of a question, right? Some sort of a dilemma. And you want the answer. Am I right?
A few of them, yes.
Well, that's why you're here. Just for a little while. This is the kind of like an imaginary room. It's not my actual house, but when people call on me, I like to be available, in a nice place. And then you hear a ding. He gets up to get his muffins from the stove. So what was your question?
Okay, well, in descending order of importance, I suppose. What is this? He kind of just holds up his hand to show the bracelet.
He sets the muffins on the table and looks at the bracelet and then looks at you. It's a gift. You did me a solid, I would say. Your level of patience is hard to come by. And now I'm kind of back to being here alone. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a parting gift in case you're ever in the neighborhood.
Huh. This is transportation?
What?
Gateway?
No. What? No, that's ridiculous. You're where you were. You're not gone. Well, you're not gone. You're going to where you need to go. You're taking a shortcut, an immediate shortcut to wherever you're headed, based on whatever the question you asked. That's how it works.
Good to know.
So,
clever.
Where are you going?
It may seem trivial, I suppose. It's been a hard day. Just want to know where my dog is.
Oh. He starts to create a nice tiered tray of his muffins and sets them in the middle of the table. I've been experimenting with boysenberry. So it's kind of a boysenberry rhubarb sort of mixture with a little bit of orange zest. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on them, but well, I suppose dogs are where they go whenever they are done in this world. I didn't know you had a pet. I would have I don't know, probably could have dug something out from the graveyard in the back.
It's all right. See, as he can clearly see, Hayden's face is just kind of fallen here and that.
Here, have a muffin. I don't really know how to deal with emotions.
He'll reach out and take one, just kind of pass it back and forth nonchalantly between his hands. It's not unexpected. It was my familiar too. I had a feeling with me being what I am now, might be the same.
Well, you were reborn under the sea. Have you ever thought of trying to find a familiar, or creating something? You can kind of tell that he thinks you're talking about a regular dog that he thinks you had with you, not a familiar.
No. It's a little more complicated than that. It's kind of literally the other half of me.
Oh. Well. Actually, you could be going. I could finish your trip and you could go to where you lost your life. But I can't really guarantee what you'd find when you get there.
Just kind of nods slightly.
Okay.
I won't sleep easy till I know. If I can sleep, I don't know that I can.
He gets up, puts some muffins in a Ziploc bag, hands them to you. All right. Well, good luck. And we will come back to you as we go back to Ebb. Second screw down. Making progress.
Screw number 2, Hayden. Just one more. Just one more.
And it's fully locked in. She's so close to getting that thing off. It's looking good. Back to Gia.
I guess I'm dead.
Yeah.
All right.
You arrive back to the main hall. You're walking all the way back. It takes you a while, but by the time you get back to the door, or not the door, but by the time you get back to the hallway, you see all of the doors are still open. It's now later. It's been probably like 30 minutes since like the meeting, and then you walked back over here. It's now later in the day, and so you kind of know based on the schedule that it's going to get to like shutdown time where they're going to have everybody come and like get ready for the night, and then they're going to start like locking off parts of the area so that like personnel who aren't supposed to be in certain places don't walk in certain places at night. And then eventually at night, when it's ready to go to bed, these doors will close. So you have some time, but, depending on what you want to do, you'll need to do it right now. So I'll say you get back and you see that the doors are all open. Juni is still unconscious in her bed.
Is
and that's
Hayden
the
back?
first door you see.
Okay. So she's still unconscious. I'm gonna go see if Hayden's in his room.
Okay. Juni, go ahead and roll a grit. Your DC is now 7.
Hey.
Almost there.
9.
A 9?
Hey.
Yes.
You actually begin to awaken, and just Gia, as you are kind of walking away, you hear Juni kind of start to wake up on her own.
Real quick, is Hayden in his room?
If you keep going, you can check.
Can I just want to dash real quick and see if Hayden and Ebb are accounted for.
Okay. As Juni, you wake up, Gia, you continue to walk to check Hayden's room. There is nobody in Hayden's room. You continue to walk to Ebb's room. Juni, you are awake. Your eyes are open. You're in your room by yourself. Ebb, you finally get the last screw out.
I got it. I take off the cover and I go, okay, Shploop, you're our only hope. Find a way out. All drains lead to the ocean. And I have him swim down the drain and close it back up.
Oh, that's terrible propaganda.
Oh, no.
Gia, you come to see, look into Ebb's room. You see Ebb standing there, looking at you, standing in the middle of the room, probably with a hand behind her back or in her pocket, since she wasn't able to put the screws back. But that's who you see. That's what you see right now. And Juni, you are fully awake now. So we're going to ask what you do in that moment.
I think as she's waking up, the first thing she does is take in her surroundings. Because 1 minute she was in a sterile hallway, and now she's in some dank dormitory cell.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. It's a dormitory cell. It doesn't look, I wouldn't say it's dank. It's actually quite pristine and clean, but it's also very cold because it's all like concrete and things like that.
This brutalist dormitory cell.
And just like,
But
I
as
make
you,
nice rooms,
as you,
guys.
as you look to the side or like sit up, in front of you is the door, and it's a metal door, and it is open, so you can see a hallway out in the door.
Yeah, I get up and I go towards the door, quietly, sneakily, trying to see if there's like any guards or anything.
Sure. You peek out. If you look to the right, you see a little bit down the hallway is a intersection where a couple of people are walking back and forth randomly. If you look to the left, you see Gia standing in the hallway looking into a room.
Hands on her hips.
Wonderful. I think her head does really hurt and she feels really gross. I think she is going to be smart about it. She's going to grab anything in the wardrobe. Is her wardrobe just like full of tunics?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She grabs a tunic and is, I guess, going to look for the showers.
Okay. Do you get Gia's attention or do you just go?
I'm just going to go.
Okay. Judy, you slip out of your room and I'm going to say you walk down the hallway. You could literally just ask anyone or look at the signs. There are signs that say bathrooms this way, to follow to get to the bathrooms and the showers.
Yeah, I'm going to walk. If I'm passing by anyone, I do want to observe if they look distressed or happy to be here.
Sure. Really neither. They more look like they're at work.
Crazy. Everybody looks to be around campers' age. Are there any do they look like campers anybody I recognize.
Oh, these
From
are
how
all
many
adults.
friends I made. Oh gosh,
Yeah,
darn
no,
it.
they're all adults.
Any adults I recognize from how many friends I made.
I'm gonna say as you're just walking down this hallway randomly, in the few people that walk, it's not like a bunch. There's like once in a while there'll be someone walking from one place to the next. None of them are really paying attention to you. Most of them are wearing lab coats, and you have not seen any of them before.
That's fair. I think she realizes that she just can't. She can't force her way through this. She needs to think about it, about how to escape the way that she normally would. But I think she just continues on to the showers, just trying not to, despite wearing normal clothes, be conspicuous or gain any attention.
Okay. Yeah, you don't gain any attention. You go and you go to the showers. Gia, you are standing and looking at Ebb, and Ebb, you're standing looking at Gia.
Do you know where Hayden is?
What? He's not. He was watching Juni. What? Where? What? He was right there. Where is he? Hayden! I'm gonna go look in Hayden's room for him.
Hayden, you find yourself basically in a blink of an eye from that chair and looking at Charlie to darkness. But you are floating. You are actually falling backwards into coldness. You're basically exactly in the spot where you were when that tidal wave from the creature swept you off the island and you sunk into the lake. This is where you continue to sink unconscious and continue to sink and continue to sink. And so you're kind of following that trajectory again, but this time you're conscious. And as you keep going and you keep going, you get to a point, this is a point that you didn't get to see because you weren't awake, but you get to a point where that switch happens, where you go from this deep dark to light. And at that moment, you kind of can see something was left there, like in the in between, going from one to the next. It is sort of lying on that in between area, being picked over by parasites at the bottom of the ocean or at the bottom of the lake.
He's going straight for it. Almost like just straight torpedo through the water.
You go over to it. You kind of swat the things away. And there's Argos. He is something. He doesn't look alive, certainly. He is obviously like rigid, and he has been fairly eaten by different things over the time that you have been gone. But there he lies. On the dark side, on the black dark side, not the light side. He got stuck on the other side. What would you like to do?
Gonna just do the one thing that he can think to do. It's just pick him up and hold him.
You scoop him up, and as you continue to sink, because you're still on this trajectory of what happened to you several hours ago, you continue to sink and you float from one side to the other where you found yourself. and you begin to float down and down and down, but this time towards sand, holding him in your arms. When you hit the sand, Argos basically turns into whatever you are. And he's up again, looking at you. A bit confused, but he doesn't seem traumatized or like he understands what happened. Kind of like you, he just kind of woke up groggily.
Just that kind of moment or relief that shoots through Hayden's body. He kind of looks at him. He kind of gently scratches behind the ears.
You hear a voice in the back of your head. Looks like you found what you were looking for. Ready to go back?
Yeah, I am.
Gia and Ebb, you two run to Hayden's room, and there he is, soaking wet head to toe with Argos in his arms in the middle of his room.
Hey, you found Argos.
What?
Good job, Hayden. Man, you did a lot more than I did. Well, I just did 3 screws. I mean...
3 what?
Nothing?
Hayden, what? Okay. When I said that you should shower, did you forget how?
You did an ebb shower. There's no shame in it. It's better. We don't get clean, but we get wet.
Well, okay.
On the other side of Hayden's room, where Juni was, you all look over, and her bed is empty.
Oh,
At least one of us is trying to escape.
you don't need to escape. This is fine.
Says the person with a snake in her brain.
I can talk to animals. I think I would know if I had a snake in my brain.
Put it this way, Gia. If we were to try and walk out that door right now, would they let us?
That door that's open?
No. You know what I mean. That front door you brought us in.
I mean, probably not without at least an escort. You know how dangerous it is out there.
I mean, not really.
We
walked through the dark and it was fine. We only died in the lake.
The reason that we were able to walk through the dark and be fine is because I was coming out to get you.
By yourself. Which is odd that it's fine for you to go outside by yourself.
To come get you. You're
welcome.
But
for some reason we're not allowed outside by ourselves. Super suspicious.
Maybe you will be after you actually rest and recover. He's forgotten how to shower. You think you should be wandering around in the wilderness? We need to find Juni.
She probably went to go shower that you keep harping about.
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear the intercom come over, and you hear the 3 dings again. And you can kind of hear people shuffling around as everyone is getting ready for the evening. Juni, you are able to take a very nice shower. Nice hot water, decent towels. Not great, but they're okay.
But was the water enchanted?
The water is not enchanted.
Thank God, because I was going to check for that.
It's a little It's clear that it's like chlorinated water, like it's like well water or lake water that's been like cleaned, so everyone
That's
can take a
terrible
shower.
for my curls. All right.
But that's all you can see. And you also hear the 3 dings.
Yeah, after the shower, I get dressed, and I use magic on my tunic to change the look of it.
To change what?
To change the look of my tunic, I use magic on it.
Okay. What does it look like?
I think, I guess to keep with my character colors, it's blue, and on like the edges, there's like traditional like embroidery around like the neckline and the hem of the skirt portion of it, and the sleeves if there are any sleeves. And then she makes a little accessory to go in her hair to match.
Okay. You walk out of the shower area all dressed, and you're walking back down to the hallway. And this is the first time you've seen another person around your same age. You don't necessarily recognize her from camp, even though you haven't like met everybody, but you don't recognize her from camp. But as she kind of comes around the corner, she is wearing kind of like an oversized black sweatshirt and like leggings and just like regular tennis shoes. And she has huge headphones on. And as she comes around the corner, she kind of does a double take at you. And then she kind of takes one of the headphones off and she's like, "Nice digs."
Hey, I like yours too.
Okay.
Have you been here long?
Yeah, like a day or something.
What's it like here? I just arrived today. And she puts on like a more like chill persona.
Oh, are you a daughter of one of the other staff? My mom works on the something balcony floor or something. I don't know. There's a whole key. I don't keep up with it.
Yeah, my mom also works here. I can't keep track of the floors. There's just so much going on. You just can't remember everything.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Food's kind of but they have the guy on the second floor has really good hot dogs. I was about to go and get one and then meet up with everybody. Are you going to like the dinner thing right now? Is that where because you're going in the wrong direction?
Oh, yeah, I always get so lost in this place. I mean, I just got here, really haven't been everywhere, but I am starving. What's your name?
Casey. Let me write that
Casey. Nice. You can call me Juni. And she holds out her hand.
Did you say Juni or Judy?
Juni. She says her name. Not her full name. Her
I was
nickname.
about to say, don't make that more difficult.
No.
Casey. Okay. Yeah. She puts out her hand, and you guys shake. She's like, "Cool. Yeah, this way." And she kind of begins to walk in the opposite direction of where you were going to go back to the hall. And she takes you down one hallway and then another hallway, and then you guys go down a couple of stairs. And as you get closer and closer to where she's taking you, you start to go further and further away from like the sterileness of the main like area where you guys were in. And you start to go into an area that looks a little bit more comfortable, a little more homey. Like it's still clearly like some sort of underground bunker, but there's like posters on the walls here, and the floor turns from like that concrete to like wood when she goes through a door. And you can smell hot dogs, hamburgers, fries, like food that like kids would like. And as you come into this what's essentially is a large dining hall that you swear looks almost identical to the large dining hall at What a Day Camp. Like when you guys go to the mess hall, the formation, the wood the tables, even the like the little cutout area where the cooks make the food and put it through like the little slot, and the door in the back, everything looks almost identical. Could literally be the twin. And in this space are like 50 other children. And they are eating and laughing happily. And she kind of takes you. Yeah, we're over here. And we're going to end our adventure there today. So, thank you all for listening.
Wow.
You never know what's around the corner. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.